Hey guys, I'll probably let this one go up and publish. Not gonna talk about anything too crazy. I know some of my subscribers probably seen the one this morning, and I don't mean to be brash or offensive when I talk about politics or religion. It's just it is the way it is. It's the way I feel. But here we're just gonna watch Betty eat hay and watch her look at that fire, all curious. It's getting pretty cold tonight, so we've got her brought in the shop here. We've went back to square one. We thought we had her wormed really good, and maybe because she won't get out of her anemic stage, maybe she's still wormy. She's kind of went downhill today a little bit because she's I think she's just cold today. That's not helping. So we've got a space heater down there. I brought her in some cedar. She really liked the cedar. After she gets enough hay in her gut, I may give her some more cedar. I don't know if she should eat too much of it, though. But maybe she knows what she wants. Been giving her alfalfa and things. What you think, Betty? She's still trying to survive, though. What you think? Space heater in the fireplace. She's enjoying it. Drop a comment in there. We'll start chatting. Somebody's watching. I got her up on her feet. She wants to lay down, but I'm making her stand up as much as possible because she's got to digest. Her rumen's got to work, and it just don't work if they lay down too much. They get kind of backed up. Wow, 10 people. Hit that screen twice and give this video a like. We're just trying to keep this goat alive here. She's struggling. She got down with, we're guessing, just parasites, and we thought we wormed her really good and thought we had her on the mend, and today it got pretty cold and she's just not doing that great. So got the space heater under her and got her in front of the fire, and she's quite infatuated with the fire. Actually, she's been sticking her head like all the way in there, so I had to pull her back a couple times because I don't want her to get burnt. Hopefully she'll eat. Thanks, AJ, for subscribing. But hopefully I'll get another log or two in there before I go to bed, and hopefully she'll have a warm fireplace plus this space heater all night. Up until it got really cold, we had a little pig that was sleeping with her and keeping her warm at night. And then today it just got pretty cold. And the day before was not good either. So I'm hoping once she gets warmed back up. So you can actually catch a video, long format video we did the other day, where um, we actually found her nearly dead, but still alive, and we brought her in the house and warmed her up in the bathtub, and she spent the night in the house, and we got her back up to decent strength. And then we did a night in the shop like this, and then put her outside. It was sunny. She was doing good outside in the sun. And then last 2 days she's just been in pretty poor temperatures outside. So we're going to try to get her back up to temperature here and give her a nice warm place to stay. We got about 30 goats, but they most of them, they're all healthy. We got one out there that we're worming right now, but most of them are pretty healthy. But that's one thing with goats is lots of times you don't know that they're not doing well until they get nearly nearly all the way down on you. It's kind of funny though. She's very interested in that fire. Who doesn't like to sit there and watch a fire burn? Doris, hello. If you're in here, do me a favor and just hit that like button. We are out of Oklahoma. If you guys, hey, there's the Roe tribe. They know us. Uh, we're out of Oklahoma. We're a little homestead channel. If you're in here and you don't know who we are and what we do, and yeah, she's enjoying the fire, but she's not doing real well. She's still struggling. I don't know if you've seen our video where Shayla found her and we had to get her in a hot bathtub and her body temperature was all the way in the 80s, which was not good. Goats need to be over 100 degrees body temperature. So we got her in a bathtub of 110-degree water and changed that water once until she was up to temperature, and she looked really good the next morning, and for the next 2 days she looked pretty good, and then she's kind of back downhill. Goats are really hard to take care of when they go down on you. Yeah, it is. She's really infatuated with the fire, though. It's kind of neat watching her stare at it. I can only imagine she doesn't feel the greatest right now. And, whenever I'm not feeling good, a hot bath or something just hits just right. Sitting by a warm fire. Goats don't know how to quit, though. I mean, I've seen it before where they'll eat just like this, and then you think, she'll be all right. She'll make it in the morning, and another day or two and she'll make it, and then they just go out there and they didn't make it. But she's not very old. She's about a year and a half old. She's still a very young goat. Luckily, last year we had a lot of problems this time of year, and so far, hopefully, we don't go back down that road. But so far, we got 20 something goats, and everybody's healthy except for her right now. And yeah, that's Road Tribe. Hello, killing it and grilling it. Seems like I've actually, I don't know if I've commented on the channel, if they've commented on ours, but I know I've heard that. Yeah, the weather up and down, the 60 degrees one day, sunny, and then back to cold and rainy, and then we just can't seem to get a break. We can't seem to get any sun right now. It's like it's basically been weeks with only a couple hours of sunlight. So that's definitely not good when they can't get sun. And our chickens are kind of going through a sick spell right now too. Uh, I'm sure it doesn't have anything to do with Bill Gates and blocking the sun out or anything. But I got lots of heavy logs on that fire, and She's one of our favorite goats. She was a dairy goat. She came from some people that had dairy goats, and she was bottle fed. But she's very respectful of your space. Like, she'll come to her name. She wants to come see you, but she doesn't jump on you. She doesn't chase you down and knock the feed bucket out of your hand. She's very respectful of your space while also being a very docile, very gentle girl, and she's getting as much care as we could possibly give her to keep her healthy. Betty, Betty. Her appetite was down a little bit after this cold day today, but bringing her in here by the fire, she's picked up quite a bit. That's the other thing. A, a ruminant animal, if they're not up to temperature, their rumen will start to go bad on them. So you can't you really don't want to feed an animal unless their body temperature's up, because it could be real bad. But she didn't get hypothermic again. It was cold. So her biggest problem today is we got a little pasture pig out there that she's kind of staying down in the rabbit hutch area. We got a little pasture pig down there, and it wants to, be lazy. It's healthy and fine, so it wants to be lazy and lay up with her. Well, that pig's warm, so she wants to lay down with it, and they got to be up on their feet and turning their rumen. Kind of crazy. This morning I was kind of talking a little bit of politics and stuff on a live, and at one point I had like nearly 200 people in there on one of these vertical lives, and said some things about Trump that maybe Trump supporters don't like, and I might have lost a subscriber or two, but man, I had a lot of people in there. I'm not necessarily against Trump. I just don't. I don't like his. I don't like the weird support that people give him. The unfaltering support. But if you were in there, I hope I didn't offend anybody that does support Trump. I don't not support him. I just don't. I don't know. I'm in a weird spot where I don't really like. I used to be real big into politics, and nowadays I just don't. Let's see. What do they say? Yep, we would give kefir or yogurt after they're going down again. After they got going again. Oh, after they got going again. Yeah. I mixed up the next day after she started doing way better. I mixed up a couple cubes of alfalfa, tablespoon of peanut butter, um, a few tablespoons of Greek yogurt, and what else do I mix up? I threw a few pecans in there because we got a bunch of pecans that are high in fats and protein. Um, yeah, I just kind of mixed up a little bit of stuff, and she ate it up. She did pretty good eating it. She's been eating a lot of hay too. They got to have a lot of hay. We fed her a little bit of grains, but very little. We're trying not to feed her grains because they're ruminants and they're really not meant to eat grain. They can, especially when they're, doing really well. They can eat grain, but when they're down, it's not the best idea to give them too much. Yeah, that's the road tribe. Yes, that's the way I kind of see it. People give him unfaltering support. And they really praise him for some things that he's done that are just very manly and very earthly, and they just, they're things that can change. At any day they could change. Uh, and just because they sound good, they're not long lasting like eternal life. So I just can't see giving somebody as much praise as he gets. I mean, I could get saying, "Hey, I think that's a good thing." I can understand a lot of his decisions he's done. Maybe not by executive order. I don't like anything by executive order because it makes it that much easier to undo. But I talked about a bunch of that and kind of where I see the country going this morning, and man, I really had a lot of people going. A few people were really upset with me. They thought I was Democrat, and it's really hard to get through to people and tell them that I just because I don't like Trump doesn't make me a Democrat. Like, I'm ultra conservative. I think you'd find it really hard pressed to find anybody more conservative than me, and that's one reason that I've fallen out of uh, liking Trump so much is because people tend to have really bad reactions to me whenever I do criticize him. Like, they get very offended and they start throwing accusations about your political beliefs or your religious beliefs, and it's insane to me. So that kind of treatment by people that are supposed to be, Christians and conservatives, you know, uh, makes me distance myself a little bit. But I would say I've been critical longer than that. Betty, don't go to sleep yet. I need you to stand up for at least another half hour. Earlier, I got her some cedar. She ate some cedar. Shayla gave her some pine needles. Both those things tend to have a little bit of anti-parasitic uh, ability, but we've got her dosed up pretty good on Cydectin, which Cydectin is one of our last resorts, but she's not responding real well to the last few days. So Cydectin is she's on a good dose of it, and we'll follow up a couple of days in a row with albendazole. So don't go to sleep on me. She's getting tired now. I'll probably let her lay down here a little bit, and then before I really get invested in my sleep, I'll probably come out and throw another log on it and stand her up and see if she'll eat a little more, and then she'll lay down till the morning after that. Eddie, what you doing, girl? You all right? I'd be tired too if I was sitting right in front of the fire. Yeah, this I didn't even see that comment. Yeah, this is the hard part about goats, and honestly, it's not real practical to put this much effort. I mean, if I had 3 or 4 sick goats, I mean, you couldn't even do this. That is live streaming. You get me to not yell at you by getting on live stream? Why? What were you supposed to yell at me about? You cleaned up most of the truck and horses. I gotta keep her awake. She's trying to sleep on me, and I'm trying to keep her up and eating. Yeah, I wish I had a legit barn. I mean, Shayla's been working on that goat barn out there, which is good for the healthy herd. You know, they got somewhere to go and stay out of the winter weather, but it's not, adequate for housing a sick goat. So she tends to make quite the mess when she's inside, but in the shop, it's not so bad. And I don't know when we've been tubing her a lot of fluids to make sure she stays hydrated. And she seems to rebound pretty good when we tube her. She seems to really perk her up. So we may put some warm fluids. We'd like to get that water up there at the upper limit of their body temperature, around 103, 104 degrees, and tube them. It really gives them a good reset. You sleeping and standing, Betty? Let me. Now, don't be touching this heater tonight. You can't get too close to it. Yeah, we don't. Reason we like Kiko goats is because we don't have that many problems like this out of them. Seems like every time we think we'll get a dairy goat, and you know, we were hoping she would have a kid and we'd milk her this year, which that's not going to happen. But we thought we'd milk her, but these dairy goats, they just seem to be this way for us. Whereas our Kiko or our Spanish Kiko crosses and miscellaneous other breeds, if you can stay away from the dairy goats and the Boers, they seem to be a lot more hardy. Wish I could really get this temperature up in this shop. What I want to do is encase this fireplace and brick all the way around. I got a squirrel cage fan. I'd like to run some spouts up top, and I'd like to be able to circulate air around this and dispense it throughout the shop. Let's poke the fire, Betty. We've got one Oberhausley out there, and she hasn't given us too many fits. She's been the best dairy goat that we've owned. We've actually milked her a handful of times, and she's done. Oops, watch out. She's actually done pretty good milking her. I mean, like real good. Hopefully, we get a chance to milk her this year because the other dairy goats that we had didn't pan out. One of them somehow got stuck in the feeder, and I guess she stressed herself out till she didn't make it. We didn't find her in time, and then of course this one was bred, and then whatever got her down, she lost her kid over that. But we could sell milk off the farm. We don't do it to sell it though. Like if we do it, it's for ourselves, and we'll feed it to pigs and chickens and stuff like that. It's a super good supplement for pigs. It's got all the essential amino acids and all that stuff to grow pigs, and pigs are omnivores, so they need the extra protein. They can't just have, like if you just try to feed a pig alfalfa, they would grow extremely slow and wouldn't get near as big. Or corn, even, you could feed them corn and alfalfa. You can feed them all the corn you want, and they might get a little bit fat, but they won't put on a lot of meat. Betty, what I may do is I may get off here in a few minutes and go get Shayla and get her tubed up with some warm fluids, and then allow her to lay down for a while. She could lay down if she wanted to. Yeah. Yeah, I think like if I was gonna sell, I wouldn't really push it real hard. Like, you know, um, we've got an idea for a dairy parlor we want to do, but we're not real sure we're going to be on this homestead forever. We're kind of looking to buy something with more land. But if we ever got into a few goats and had a steady supply of milk, I'm not sure we would ever even do it enough to have more than we could use for pigs and stuff. But if we did, we would probably only sell to a couple of people. Hello, Hendrickson Family Farm. Seen us live and decided to stop in. We're just trying to keep this goat alive. She ain't doing real well, but she was eating a bunch. She ate for about 15 or 20 minutes on here. But trying to keep her warm. Got a space heater and a fire going for her. But I think, like we're putting as much effort as we possibly can into our kidding season this year. And if it goes anything like it did last year, we may not try to do goats too serious anymore. Uh, but as of right now, this is the only sick goat we got. Whereas last year we were fighting it left and right, um, trying to keep them up on their minerals and stuff like that. And uh, we don't. Part of the problem is we just don't do herd wide anti-parasitic regimens because we want our goats to be hardy. We do not we want to like this goat right here. She's probably, if she stays here, being that she's dairy, what we're going to have to do is just realize that she's dairy and she's here for milk. And, we may baby her and keep her up on anti-parasitics. But like our other goats, um, the idea is for, to make market kids. And we can't be chasing down goats and worming them all the time. It's just too much input, too much labor. So, if we have one that's, meant to make meat market babies, then if she has a problem being wormy, she's got to go to town. She can't, we can't continue those genetics. But, for Betty, if she sticks around, it's going to be because she's dairy. And, that's just kind of what you get lots of times is, yeah, we've been giving her thiamine every day for a few days. She's she was responding pretty good at first, but here lately she's kind of went back downhill. But today was really cold, so we had her doing decent back outside. But with the cold weather today, she just didn't handle it so good. So she's back inside. And she's definitely a little shaky, but some of what she's doing right now is because she's about to fall asleep sitting in front of this fire. She's still got an appetite when she remembers that there's hay in front of her. She's kind of mesmerized by the fire. Um, I don't know if you was in here when I was talking about tubing her electrolytes and fluids and stuff, but before I go to bed, we'll come out here and we'll tube her some warm water, and she responds really well to being tubed. She is drinking water on her own, but just not enough. She tends to want to eat more than she wants to drink, and we we we've actually given her selenium shot the first day. We gave her selenium. We gave her red cell. We gave her B12. We gave her electrolytes. All the stuff. And then today, Shayla gave her, I think, vitamin A and E, or A, E, and D, I think is a combination one. She gave her B12. Red cell again. She had a copper bolus a month and a half ago or so, but since she wasn't doing so good today, we thought maybe we'll give her another bolus. Um, and cold weather just really kind of zapped her today. Thank you, Jennifer. I'm sitting out here kind of watching her, just monitoring how much she eats. I figured if I'm just going to sit here and do nothing, I might as well live stream her. Hopefully, she can make a turnaround. She's one of our favorite goats. She's eating quite a bit of hay, so I may go outside. She was really like, I grabbed her just a handful of cedar off a tree whenever I was grabbing firewood, and she really like went after that cedar. So uh, I may give her just a little bit more of it. I didn't give her much, but I don't know if she should eat too much cedar. Yeah, I was when it was sunny the other day for a few hours. I said, well, we'll take her outside and or take her back out to the pasture and let her be with the other goats and eat around the hay feeder and see how she does. And then she just followed me back to the house. I'm like, she just wants to be in the house. Interesting. Yeah, she was. I don't know. She was like sticking her whole head in that fireplace earlier, and it looked like she was trying to maybe lick up the ash. So maybe she needs some kind of acid reducer. I don't know. She keeps kind of burping. Maybe she needs some kind of acid reducer or something. I don't think it would hurt to tube her some coke. I mean, it'd be high energy sugar. We've been giving her some molasses with her tubings and stuff. be high energy for sure. It's acidic, so maybe sometimes it's kind of an oxymoron, but sometimes when you're acidic, having acids is a way to fix it. So maybe that's what the Coke was about. Maybe she, maybe that, cedars are acidic, and she really wanted to eat that cedar, so maybe she needs some sort of a stomach balance or something. Yeah, I don't know why she was sticking her head in there, but it looked like she was trying to lick the ash, and I was afraid she was going to burn herself. It gets really hot over there. I was going to shut the fireplace, but she seems to be enjoying watching it, so I'll probably shut it when I go in the house and I can't watch her because she's kind of a little off balance. I'd hate for her to like stick her head in there and then fall in and burn herself or something. I got a painter's drop. I may put it over the top of her, help her hold in some body heat. This shop is warmer than outside, but it ain't perfect. Yeah, we've been doing pretty good around here. I can't complain. I hope you guys have been doing good. Jennifer, actually some animals will eat ash. Like I've watched cows. I mean they need it in increments, but I've watched cows go through a burn pit and lick up some ash here and there after a burn, and it's not too bad for them. Animals kind of know what they need lots of times. Uh, you know, there was a person who allegedly, I might say the wrong things. I might say like some medical information and get pulled down or something. But there was a guy, a veterinarian one time that owned horses, and his favorite horse got cancer, and he decided the horse wasn't going to make it, so he put it out in the pasture and was going to let it live out its last. I think he presumed it would live maybe weeks, and he observed the horse was eating the strangest plants. Like they'd never, he was a horse veterinarian and stuff, and plants that he had never seen a horse eat. And then the horse gradually got better and better and better and better. So he paid attention to the plants it was eating and derived a medicinal concoction and allegedly had fixed some cancers. But governments went after him for selling snake oils per usual. And, even though he wasn't selling his stuff for, I think it's a shame if somebody wants to try something their own way, they should be able to. Uh, but how many cancer doctors sell false hope with experimental drugs and chemo and stuff, and how many millions of dollars, billions and trillions of dollars are spent on those things that don't work for people. So, if somebody wants to try one thing, I think it should be up to them. And doctors don't have a problem prescribing stuff off label whenever it's good for their pocketbook, but whenever you try to make a health decision for you or a loved one, uh, they tend to have problems with it. Man, I might bring another space heater out here. It's cold on my backside right now, sitting in this chair. I got a radiant heater I could put under that table where she can't get to it, where she can't rub up against it. Yeah, we're not. I don't think she's got any kind of toxins because her her tail's a little dirty just because she sat, I think, in her own urine earlier whenever she was cuddled up with that pig. I think she wasn't moving very far to go pee. But she doesn't have a dirty tail. She doesn't have coccidia. She doesn't have, the runs that would be indicative of having consumed toxins and stuff. But we have had baby goats nearly go down on us, and we gave them trace amounts of copper and selenium and then some charcoal, uh, or gave them the charcoal, and then shortly after gave them the trace amounts of selenium and copper and got them to come back, and they did just fine. But the goat was like scouring, so we figured it ate something it wasn't supposed to. The treatments are more harmful to our health than the problem. Yeah, I think there's something to that too. Like, some people just have really aggressive cancer, and it's really bad. But I think some people are told that they need to get on, certain treatments and as soon as possible. And I think that sometimes those treatments are the downfall. But you're a lunatic if you want to try something outside of what they recommend. You're a heretic. You want me to let you lay down, Betty? You're pretty warm. Especially on the side that's facing the fire. You can turn around if you need to. Well, guys, I think, yeah, I'm about to have to start winding down. I think I'm going to have Shayla come out here and help me tube her, unless she did it right before I got home from work. I don't know if I want to tube her that soon, but put some warm fluid down her belly, and I might go to Shayla's goat book and see uh, what may help with an acidic gut or something. I kind of feel like she's got some kind of gut problem. It may be results of when her body temperature got cold, her rumen might have started to go south on her whenever her body temperature wasn't up, and she may be fighting off something from that still yet. So I don't know, maybe Shayla's got something in her book related to that. Yep. Well, I'm gonna get off here. Appreciate you guys tuning in and watching. Not much to not much going on here, but thank you.